Good morning to students. So last class we studied about how to write the IUPAC name of compounds containing polyfunctional groups. That is more than one type of functional groups. In this one is used as prefix and another functional group. For another functional group we use the suffix. Okay, which are more priority, higher priority, for that we use the suffix, and which has less priority, for that we use the prefix. Now let us know, let us discuss how to write the IUPAC name of compounds when the compound is represented by bond line notations. So in some cases, instead of writing the formula, total formula, that is CH like this, in this way these are only represented by bond lines. So when these compounds are represented by bond lines, here you have to remember at the end point of any. So generally a single line is represented for a single bond. If a double line is represented for a double bond, parallel line, and if for triple bond this is represented for if any triple bond is present, this is represented by three lines. So in this way, first this is represented, and at the any intersection point and at the end point there is presence of carbon atom, and according to that hydrogen is also satisfied. Some hydrogens are present, hydrogen atoms are present. So for example, it is written like this. Then here one carbon, here one carbon, one carbon, one carbon, and here also one carbon present. And after that, the satisfying this tetra covalence of carbon, hydrogen atoms are present. So here no hydrogen, here three hydrogen, and here three hydrogen, because carbon form one bond here, carbon form one bond here. In this three hydrogen, here three hydrogen, and here three hydrogen. So in this way we can represent. So if it is written like this, that means this is your at the end point of every end point there is a presence of carbon atom and hydrogen atoms satisfying hydrogen atoms are there, and at the intersection point also there is a presence of carbon atom. Okay, and if required that are also satisfying hydrogen atoms, but here at the tetra covalence of carbon is there, so here there is no hydrogen atom. And in this, what is the name of this compound? We can write the name of this compound. So this is the long chain 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So at the 2 position, 2 methyls are present. Name of this compound is 2,2-dimethyl propane. So in this way, you can name the name of the compound. Okay. And next, so if so at the every end point, at the intersection point, carbon atom there, and every end point, carbon atoms are there. And if any functional groups are present, it is also represented by their special symbols or special formulas. For example, if alcohol is there, then it is represented by OH. If aldehyde is there, then it is represented by CHO. If ketone is there, then it is represented by the CO group. So, so from looking at the structure, or checking at the structure, you can identify what is the compound. Okay. So look here, there are some bond line notations, and write the IUPAC name of this compound. So there 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbon atoms are there. At 2 position double bond is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all cases this is same. So name of this compound is but2ene. Okay. Similarly, next come to here. So here there are 2 double bonds are there. So if you count in the long chain, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this side also 6. But if you count from here, the double bond counts at 2 position and at 5 position. In this count from here, so that the lowest position you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the substituent. Here 1 carbon and satisfied 3 hydrogen atoms are there. So this is methyl group. What is the name of this compound then? So at 3 position methyl is there. So this is 3 methyl hexa. So 2 double bond in this A, extra A is there, and hexa 1 4 di-ene. Okay. Next come to here. So here how many carbon? So C, and 1 C is there. So if this type of is present, and according to that, hydrogen atoms are satisfying there, different hydrogens are also there, CH3 and here C, here CH3 and CH3. Now count down the carbon atoms. So two functional groups are there. One is your CO ketone group, another OH group. So as ketone group has higher priority than that OH group, so it should be at the lowest position. In this way, countdown starts from here. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. 5 carbon atom at 4 position OH group, at 2 position OAB is there. So this is now used as a substituent. So for that we use the prefix. So first 4 prefix. So this is OH and here methyl group. This is the chain. Then this is OH, this is the functional group hydroxy, and C for CH3. This is for methyl. So in this way 4 hydroxy, then 4 methyl, 4 hydroxy, 4 methyl, pentan, 2 ONE. Next come to this compound. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here bromine is there. To this carbon, bromine is attached here. So here carbon, 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 carbon. So functional group is there. In this way you have to give the lowest position to this. If this is the lowest position, this position is 2. Now this is used as now this group is your substituents. In this way from starting from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At one position bromine is there, and this position methyl group is there. So bromo and methyl, bromo comes first in alphabetical order. In this 1 bromo, then 3 methyl pentan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentan, 2 ONE. So in this way you have to name the compounds. It is represented in bond line notation. Now next come to how to write the structural formula of the compounds from the IUPAC name of the compounds. So if the IUPAC name given, then how to write the structural formula. So to find out this, first from the name, write down what is the first find out what is the word root. So what is the longest continuous carbon chain? Okay, so first find out the word root. From the name, find out what is the word root given. Then what is the suffix? Identify the suffix. What is the suffix present? So the suffix and its position. If the suffix and position given, then at that position, so count the carbon atom, and at the suffix, what is the position of the suffix given? At that position, write down what is the functional group present. Then also you identify what is the prefix and position. Find out the prefix and its position, suffix and its position. Then if double bond and triple bond are present, find out their position. Find out their position. So put it accordingly. So first find out the word root. According to word root, give the number of carbon atoms in straight. Then what is the suffix? To that write down what is the functional group present. If the prefix present, what are the prefix present, and what is position at that position. So substitute the prefix. What is the prefix? For the prefix, what is the functional group? What is the substituent present? Write down that. And if double bond, triple bond and position is given, then at that same position give the double bond and triple bond. Then join all the carbon atoms and write the required number of hydrogens. At each carbon atom, required number of hydrogen, and write required number of hydrogen atoms at each carbon atom, satisfying the tetracovalency of carbon atom. Satisfying the tetracovalency of carbon atom. Okay. Suppose given, write down the structural formula of 3-methyl, 2-methyl hex 3-enoic acid, hexenoic acid. So 2-methyl hex 3-en hexenoic acid. So in this way, the word root is hex. So So first write down the 6 carbon atom. Okay, so weak acid is that its position is always 1. This is the primary, this is the secondary suffix. So this is the secondary suffix. This is the secondary suffix and the main suffix. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is given. So the 6th position write down. You know, in weak acid, the carboxylic acid as contains carbon, always counting starts from here. This is the position 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Then double bond is present at 3 positions. This is given 3 En. So 1, 2, 3. And after this 3 position, give the double bond. And at 2 position, methyl is there. So at 2, methyl is there. Okay. So substituents methyl, double bond position, functional group position. Now satisfy the link all the carbon atoms by this single bond. Next satisfy hydrogen. So here the carbon is attached to one carbon. In this way here there should be 3 hydrogen to satisfy the covalency. And this is attached with 2 carbon atom. Here should be 2 hydrogen. And here 1 bond and 2 bond with carbon. In this carbon contain 1 hydrogen. You can write here or here or here 1 hydrogen. And here 2 bond there and 1 bond there. The 3 valency satisfied by formation 3 bond. Another satisfy the tetra covalency. There should be 1 hydrogen CH like this. And here also carbon bonded with 3 other carbon atom. To satisfy the tetra covalency, you have to write down another hydrogen here. So in this way, this is the structure of 2-methyl hexane acid. Okay. Now this is homework for you. So try to solve this. Draw the structure of the following compounds: 2-chloro, 2-methyl, butane, 1-OL, 5,5-dimethyl, nonane, 3-OL, propane, 1,3-diamine, 4-amino, 2-ethyl pent, 2-enal, ethyl 3-methoxy, 4-nitrobutanoate. Okay. Next come to another part of organic chemistry, that is what is isomerism. Next come to study about isomerism. So what is isomerism? So isomerism, this is a phenomenon. So what is this phenomenon? So look here, when the same molecular formula represents 2 or more compounds, when the same molecular formula represents 2 or more compounds which have different physical and chemical properties, then such compounds are called isomers, and this phenomena is called isomerism. This is called isomerism. Look here, you know one thing, that is we can write the formula of ethyl alcohol. Suppose I am writing one formula C2H6O. So this C2H6O I can represent by 2 compounds. Look here. So one is CH3CH2OH. Total carbon atom 2, total hydrogen atom 6, and 1 oxygen atom. This is ethanol or not. So this is ethanol or ethyl alcohol. And I can, using this formula, I can also write compound CH3OCH3. Here also total carbon atom 2, total hydrogen atom 6, and oxygen is 1. So this is known as your diethyl ether. Diethyl ether. So these 2 compounds represented by one formula, simply by one formula. Similarly, there are some other compounds. So when the same formula represents 2 or more compounds, say 2 compounds, it may represent more compounds, 2 or more compounds which have different physical as well as chemical properties. Look here, this ethanol has different properties than that of ethanol. This is water soluble, this is water insoluble. It has different reactivity, it has different types of reactivity because the functional group here is OH, the functional group is O. In this, the chemical behavior is different, physical properties also different. So when the same molecular formula represents two compounds which have different physical and chemical properties, then such compounds are called isomers of each other. So these two are known as isomers of each other, and this phenomenon is called isomerism. Okay? So this isomerism in organic chemistry generally classified into two types. One is known as structural isomerism, another known as stereoisomerism. So it is of two types. One is structural isomerism and another stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism, also called space isomerism. Also called space isomerism. Okay. So structure, this is only the structural arrangement. In structural arrangement, it forms different compounds. And stereoisomerism, actually they have similar type of chemical properties. They may differ in some physical properties. The compounds are same. Their arrangement of atoms are different in space. Okay. So let us study about structural isomerism. So when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which have different structural arrangement of atoms or groups, then that are called structural isomers, and this phenomenon is called structural isomerism. And structural isomerism again generally classified into 5 types. Okay, so what are the different types of structural isomerism? One is known as chain isomerism. Chain isomerism, another known as position isomerism. Position isomerism, functional isomerism, functional isomerism, tautometamerism, and another tautomerism. There are generally 5 types of structural isomerism. So what is chain isomerism? So when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which have different chains, that is straight chain or branch chain, then that is known as your chain isomerism. So for this formation of this chain isomerism, the compound should have a minimum 4 number of carbon atoms. So if there are 3 number of carbon atoms maximum, then there is no formation of a chain isomerism because the 3 carbon atoms always forms a straight chain. So if the compound contains minimum 4 number of carbon atoms or more than that, then it can form chain isomerism. Look here, suppose we consider about the formula of butane, C4 and H10. This is your CnH12 plus 2 formula in alkane. So in butane, that can represent two compounds. Look here, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is N-butane, or simply you can say this is butane. But if one alkyl group, so the structural arrangement, if one alkyl group comes joined here and hydrogen one joined here, then another compound using this formula that can be represented as CH3, CH3, CH3. So this is total here also carbon 4, hydrogen 10. This is known as 2-methyl propane. So these two are chain isomer of each other. Butane and 2-methyl propane. These two are chain isomer of each other. Okay. Similarly, so minimum it requires 4 number of carbon atom for the formation of chain isomerism. So first write down the definition isomerism. So when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which have different physical and chemical properties, then such compounds are called isomers and the phenomenon is called isomerism. So isomerism is of two types, structural isomerism and space or stereo isomerism. Space isomerism or stereo isomerism. So structural isomerism. So structural isomerism is formed by the compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula, differing in the arrangement of atoms or groups. Or we can say when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which have different arrangement of atoms or groups that are known as structural isomers. And these structural isomers are again classified, the structural isomerism is again classified into 5 types, that is chain isomerism, position isomerism, functional isomerism, metamerism and tautomerism. Okay. Another isomerism is also there, that is also called ring chain isomerism. So chain isomerism, when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which differ in the carbon skeleton, that is the carbon chain skeleton, that is a straight chain or branch chain, then such isomers are called chain isomers and this phenomenon is called chain isomerism. So look here, C4H10 represents two chain isomers like butane and 2-methyl-propane. Look here, this is a common sense, that is, often it forms chain isomer, the word root of the compound is changed. So here this is but and here this is pro. In this way, we can identify whether this is chain isomer or not. Look here, similarly we can say that is C5H12. It also represents the different chain isomer. So different chain isomers having formula C4H12 are, look here, one is CH3, CH2, 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 CH3, that is pentane. Similarly, another we can write CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH3 is 2-methyl-butane. Just to write the chain isomer, remove one hydrogen from this non-terminal carbon and just bring this methyl group there, join there, so that you can get different type of chain isomer. So 2-methyl-butane. Similarly, another CH3, 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 CH3. All of the formula C5, all of the formula that is C5 and H is total, you can count, that is your 12. Okay, C12. So this is 2,2-dimethyl-propane. So this C5H12 can form 3 C5H12 can form 3 chain isomers. So it can form 3 chain isomers. Okay, so in this way, this is your chain isomerism. Next, come to position isomerism. So what is position isomerism? So when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which have different position of double bonds, triple bonds or functional groups or substituents, then that are called position isomers and this phenomenon is called position isomerism. Look here, suppose I write the butane. So butane can be represented with C4H8, that can represent two compounds. Look here, CH3, CH, double bond CH and CH3. That is what? But2ene. And another compound CH3, CH2, CH, double bond CH2. What is this? This is known as but1ene. So both have the same formula C4H8, but here the double bond position is 2 and here the double bond position is 1. So these two are position isomer of each other, and this phenomenon is called positional isomerism. Similarly, look here, CH3, CH2, CH2OH and CH3, CH, CH2OH. What is the name of this compound? This is propan 1OL and this is propan 2OL. So both have the same formula, that is C3H8O. Both have the same formula C3H8O, but they have different position of they both contain the same functional group, but their position is different. In this way, both contain the same functional group, but the position is different. That are known as position isomers. So this is position isomer. These are position isomer of each other. These two are position isomer of each other, and this phenomenon is called positional isomerism. So position isomerism, here the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which have different positions of either substituents or functional groups or double bond or triple bond. Then such compounds are called position isomers of each other, and this phenomenon is called positional isomerism. For example, if you look at the C4H8 represents two position isomers. So but 2 and but 1 these two are position isomer of each other. Similarly, C3H8O represents two positional isomers. One is CH3, CH2, CH2OH, propane 1OL, another propane 2OL. Similarly, C2H4Cl2 represents two position isomer. It is 1,1-dichloroethane and 1,2-dichloroethane. Similarly, if we go for that is C5H12, that also represents the different position isomer in the position of substituents. Look here, one may be written like this: CH3, CH2, CH3, CH. Okay, C4H12 that do not represent a position isomer. If it is given, that is your C6 at 14, that represents your different position isomer. Look here, it is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, here CH3 and here CH3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 2-methyl pentane, and another position isomer of this is CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2, CH. This is 3-methyl pentane. So the position of methyl group here and here are different. Here are 2 positions and here are 3 positions. So these two are position isomer of each other. Okay. Here I want to say one thing, that is the organic compounds which contain the terminal functional groups like aldehydes, carboxylic acids, cyanides, etc. They do not show position isomerism because their position is always 1. Look here, one example, that is it is given CH3, CH2, CH2, CHO. What is this compound? This is actually butanol. So its position is 1. But if we write the another structural isomer of this formula, another structural isomer having this formula, then its structure may be like this: CH3, CH2, so here CH3, CH, CHO and CH3. If this compound, the name of this compound is 1, 2, 3. So that is 1, 2, 3. This is 2-methyl propanol. 2-methyl propanol. This is butanol and this is 2-methyl propanol. So they have the same formula, that is C4H8O. The C4H8O represents these two compounds. These two compounds are not the position isomer of each other. Instead, these are the chain isomer of each other. They have the same functional group, These are the chain isomer of each other, not the position isomer of each other. Okay. Next come to another type of isomerism that is called functional isomerism. So what is functional isomerism? Functional isomerism. So when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which are differ by the presence of different functional groups, then such compounds are called functional isomers of each other, and this phenomenon is called functional isomerism. Look here, would I write the formula C3H6O. This C3H6O represents two compounds. One is CH3, CH2, CHO. This is the functional aldehyde. Formula total carbon 3, total hydrogen 6, oxygen 1. So total, this is an aldehyde, that is propanal. Propanal. Similarly, another compound having this formula is CH3CO CH3. What is this? This is known as your propanol. So here the functional group is ketone and here the functional group is aldehyde. Same molecular formula represents two compounds which have different functional groups that are known as functional isomers of each other. That are functional isomers. Another look here was C2H6O. That also represents two compounds, that is CH3, CH2, OH, and another compound CH3O, CH3. So what is this? This is ethanol. Ethanol, and this is an ether, that is methoxymethane. Methoxymethane. So ethanol and methoxymethane, they have the same general formula C2H6O, but represent the two compounds. One has functional group OH and another functional group O. One is alcohol, another is ether. In this way, these two are functional isomer of each other. So similarly, aldehyde and ketones, alcohol and ethers, carboxylic acid and esters, and primary, secondary, tertiary amines, these are functional isomers of each other. Okay. Next, functional isomerism. When the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which differ due to the presence of different functional groups, then such compounds are called functional isomers, and this phenomenon is called functional isomerism. So, for example, C2H6O that represents two functional isomers, one is ethanol, another methoxymethane. So, alcohol and ether. Look here, when there is alcohol, that can be converted to an ether. So, alcohol and ether, these are functional isomers of each other. Similarly, one aldehyde functional isomer of a ketone, but that should contain minimum 3 number of carbon atoms. Okay, so C3H6O represents two functional isomers. One is propanol, functional group is aldehyde, and here the functional group is ketone, it's propanol. Similarly, C3H6O2 represents two functional isomers, that is CH3CH2COOH, propanoic acid, and CH3COOCH3, that is methyl ethanoate. So this is carboxylic acid and this is an ester. Carboxylic acid and ester are functional isomers of each other. So always carboxylic acid are functional isomers of esters, aldehyde functional isomers of ketones, alcohols are the functional isomers of ethers. Similarly, primary, secondary, tertiary amines, they are also functional isomers of each other. Okay, note down this. Next, come to metamerism. So, metamerism is also a structural isomerism which contains the same functional group. So, when the same molecular formula represents two or more compounds which differ with the presence of different alkyl groups, around a particular functional group, then such compounds are called metamers, and this phenomenon is called metamerism. So you can say metamerism is one type of position isomerism in case of only ketone, not for others. Look here, which contain two-side alkyl group. The compound which generally contain two-side alkyl group. So in that case, only metamerism is possible. So the compounds that they contain the same functional group. In metamerism, they have the same in functional isomer. They have different functional groups, but in metamers, they have the same functional group. They were present in the same families. So they have the same functional group, but different alkyl groups around the functional group. So generally, generally the compounds of ketone, then secondary amines, ether and ester. So ether, ester, secondary amines and ketones generally form or generally they exhibit this metamerism. Okay, so metamerism, look here, this is your CH3, CH2, C double bond O, then CH2, CH3. So this is, so here ketone group is there and here ethyl group and ethyl group is present. And another compound, look here CH3, CO, CH2, CH2, CH3. Both are the same formula C5H10O, but they differ. Here differ due to different alkyl group. In both sides ethyl present, in one side methyl and another side propyl present. And another compound also I can write CH3, C double bond O, CH, CH3, CH3. So these three are known as metamer of each other. Similarly, another compound CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3, that is diethyl ether and methyl propyl ether. These are also metamer of each other. Next come to metamerism. So when same molecular formula represents two or more compounds differ due to the presence of different alkyl groups around a functional group, then such compounds are called metamers, and this phenomenon is called metamerism. So ether generally with metamerism, that are generally ethers, ketones, esters and secondary amines. And secondary amines exhibit metamerism. They have some examples of ethers. That is ethoxyethane and 1-ethoxyethane and 2-ethoxyethane. All the functional group is same but different alkyl groups around these functional groups. And these are metamer of each other. In this case, CH3, CH2, CO, CH2, CH3, pentane 3-ONE, pentane 2-ONE, and 3-methyl-butane 2-ONE. These three are metamer of each other. Similarly, C4H11N represents three metamers. That is N-ethyl-ethanamine, N-methyl-propan-1-amine, and N-methyl-propan-2-amine. Remember, after writing this structure, you have to always write the names so that there will be no confusion. Always you have to write the alphabet name of these compounds. Okay? Next come to tautomerism. So tautomerism, this is a special type of structural isomerism. So where these tautomers, they are interconversible. Okay, so they actually exist. These are interconversible and there exists dynamic equilibrium between them. There exists dynamic equilibrium between them. So one molecule is converted into another. So they both exist. And there are dynamic equilibrium with each other. And this is a special type of isomerism, structural isomerism. So what happens? There are two conditions for this tautomerism. One, the carbon atom should be attached to an electronegative atom through multiple bond. Carbon atom should be attached to electronegative atom through multiple bond, and there should be at least one alpha hydrogen atom. So that the migration of hydrogen takes place from alpha hydrogen to this functional group, and it forms the different type of compound just by changing the structure. Look here, it is given that is CH3COH. This is the functional aldehyde. And what is the carbon present adjacent to the functional group known as the alpha carbon. And the hydrogen attached to this alpha hydrogen, this alpha carbon is known as alpha hydrogen. Hydrogen attached to the alpha carbon is known as alpha hydrogen. So what happens if this type of situation is there? Then one hydrogen atom shifted towards this carbon, but carbon is attached to electronegative atom through multiple bond, that's the double bond. One hydrogen shifted to here, and this bond comes here. In this way, it forms CH2 double bond C, and here OH H. So this is known as aldehyde. This is ethanol. This is ethanol, and this is two carbon. This is En and OL. This is ethanol. So ethanol and ethanol, these two are tautomere of each other. So these are said to be tautomere of each other, and they exist in dynamic equilibrium. So there are different types of tautomers are there, but the more common is keto-enol tautomerism. This is keto form because it contains C double bond O. Although this is aldehyde, it is known as keto form because the keto group is there. And this is enol form, double bond En and here OL, En. This is enol form. This is keto form, and this is called enol form. And actually one is keto and another enol. This is known as the keto-enol tautomerism. If there is no alpha hydrogen atom, then no keto-enol tautomerism possible. Look here, if we look at the CH3, COCH3, this is propanol or acetone, and the tautomer of this is CH2 double bond CH, OH, and CH3. This hydrogen may shift in this way. This is your enol form. But if there is no alpha hydrogen atom, then there is no tautomerism possible. For example, if we consider about the benzaldehyde C double bond OH, and here there is no alpha hydrogen atom. In this it do not undergo tautomerism. Similarly, when we consider about benzophenone, it is C double bond O. In this case also no tautomerism possible. But if there is given cyclohexanone, okay, in this case tautomerism is possible. The tautomer of this species is your double bond and your OH. So one bond comes here, hydrogen comes here. This is the tautomer. This is the enol form. This is keto form. But here no tautomerism possible. Okay. So the tautomers are the compounds which exist in dynamic equilibrium with each other just by changing, by shifting 1,3 hydrogen, by shifting or migration of hydrogen from by migration of ion from 1,3 position. Okay, from 3 to 1 position or 1 to 3 position. So in this way, this is known as the keto-enol tautomerism. Next, come to tautomerism. So tautomers are actually the functional isomers which exist simultaneously, that remain at a time, and they exist also in dynamic equilibrium. Okay, so the isomerism is known as tautomerism, and there are two conditions for the tautomerism is generally possible by the migration of 1,3 migration of hydrogen atom, and there are different types of tautomerism. One of them, the common one, is the keto-enol tautomerism. So conditions for tautomerism: the carbon atom should be attached to electronegative atom like oxygen or nitrogen. That is another type of tautomerism. If it is attached to oxygen, that is known as the keto-enol tautomerism. So the carbon atom should attach to electronegative atom through multiple bond, and there should be at least one alpha hydrogen atom. Okay. So these are the conditions. Here one is ethanol and ethanol. Here carbon is attached to oxygen, electronegative atom through multiple bond, and CH3. There are 3 alpha hydrogen atom. So one hydrogen is shifted towards this position from 1 to 3, from 1 to 3 position. In this way, it forms an enol form. And similarly, propanol and propene 2OL, these are tautomers of each other. One is keto form, another is known as enol form. And cyclohexanol, cyclohexenol, these are also tautomers of each other. One is keto form, another is enol form. But the compounds, the aldehyde and ketones, the keto group, the aldehydes and ketones which do not have alpha hydrogen atom, that do not exhibit this tautomerism. Okay. So these are your different types of structural isomers, structural isomerism. Okay. So note down this.